mother, graduate, veteran, mediator, vice president, president, founder, business owner, and also candidate for State House District 43.
What's happening, family? It's your main man, TJ Chatman, back with another episode of the TJ Chatman Show. Man, listen, each and every week just gets better and better, and we just have awesome guests that comes in each and every week, you know, spitting knowledge, giving us some great substance to go back with and make sure our followers, our listeners, our fans, everybody is left with knowledge in their spirit than they came in with. So, joining me once again, each and every week. I always feel good when you're by my side because it just makes the show just vibe better because I can speak better.
I guess.
And it's all because of the smile that she wears.
Okay.
Morgan Williams.
Yes.
In the building. What's happening, darling?
Nothing much. Nothing much, TJ.
Yes.
Just happy to be healthy and here.
Absolutely.
That's a blessing each day.
Yeah, look here. We gonna talk about that. Yeah, we gonna talk about that one soon. And joining us, you know, he has a little pattern going on. First couple weeks, you know, on time. Last couple of days, last couple weeks now, walking right in the door. But that's comedian Lyles Candidate. What's happening, player?
How y'all doing? Glad to be here. In time enough.
in time enough. Good thing we got those commercials playing at the beginning of the show.
Yes.
You can slide right on in.
It's just like, no, don't we do that? Like I got a 5-minute window before I'm late.
Yeah, that's just like, hey, that's how we do on the job. They take advantage of that 5-minute grace period, don't they? Anyway, and we're joined here by the lovely Tamika Lyles, and wow, I must say it's an honor to be in your presence because I'm still feeling the I have a dream speech, and hopefully for some of y'all that haven't heard it, hopefully we can get a little bit at I have a dream speech, you know, later on in the show.
Oh my goodness!
Because that's a powerful speech, you know, and she did it at the Juneteenth March. She was one of our guest speakers, and what a fantastic job she did. I'm excited and have you on here because this is a crucial time in America, you know, not just in America, but even in our local area, that we have to put people in the office that we want to see change and who's been fighting for that change, not just somebody that all of a sudden, oh, I feel like doing it today because I want to just get up and no. We want people that's been fighting for it for the longest time, and now it's time for them to get that seat. So we're glad to have you here, and I can't wait till we, you know, get started with you so we can know a little bit more about you. Now, in recent weeks, we've been talking about systemic racism and police brutality, the systemic failure within the justice system, just pretty much everything. The Karen's gone wild, you name it. The Ken's gone wild. I mean, it's just been like, oh my goodness, every time you turn around, that's what's happening. And most recently now, police officers are now resigning from their duties.
Yes.
And it's been like one of them head scratchers trying to figure out, is that a sign of reform that's happening and they don't like what's coming down the pipeline? Or is it just something, a start of something that, hey, you can't get away with the shit no more. So therefore, if you don't like it, hit the door. And I think that's what's happening, if you ask me. What you think, Cannon?
I guess for me, it just makes me wonder for an officer, especially one that's been on a force for a long time, what was their motive to join anyway?
Right.
That makes me wonder that. We do know that that some hate groups have infiltrated law enforcement. So I want to believe
infiltrated or already was there.
Infiltrated would cover all of that. You're not wrong.
Infiltrated what? They was out there.
Yeah. So I do want to believe that people see the changes that are coming about, and they're already starting the momentum. Well, let me remove myself because I never had good motives anyway, and I don't want to be doing the stuff I like to do and end up going to jail for it.
You think that's what it is?
I'm hoping, Morgan. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
So Morgan, what do you think though? Like, why? I mean,
We know why.
We know
why they do not appreciate their own being prosecuted and treated like a normal civilian. We already know what it is. It ain't no dancing around it. It's like, okay, y'all gonna make a example out of another police officer. Well, guess what? Y'all talking all this. We're gonna defund the police departments. We're gonna do all this. All right, then let's see how you can go on without us. Let's see how you can do without us. That was that message. That's that message.
That's that message.
That's the message. The message isn't, let me, remove. It would be great if that would be it. Say, you know what, I'm one of the bad seeds. Let me step away. But no, it's like, no. That's how y'all feel? All right? Do your thing without the police.
You think it's working?
Call 911 and see who show up then. You want our help then, but we know that's the message.
So Tamika, there's a lot of talk about defunding of the police. Briefly, just tell us what does defunding the police department means?
Because I can promise you, it don't mean
what we think it means.
What you think?
It don't mean get rid of the police.
Right.
It doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
It really depends on who you ask, because there's a lot of different organizations that are saying it, and they all mean different things. Okay, but the majority is saying that they would like the funding to be put back into the community, and let the community handle things that the community can handle, and use policing only when absolutely necessary. So it's a lot of when they say defund, a lot of times I think that's an issue within the community. Sometimes it's people don't quite understand what the message actually is, and we don't have a lot of leaders that's truly explaining what they mean when they say defund the police. And it sounds so harsh when you say defund the police.
Exactly.
Just take all the money.
So y'all don't want us no more.
Exactly. And we know that they already, they're not paid very much anyway.
Yes.
So when you say defund the police, it really sounds bad to someone that is pro law enforcement.
Right.
But I think that it just really depends on which organization or group that you ask.
Yeah, because I know that the municipalities, the cities of whatever, they typically get paid more than your county sheriffs, because the county sheriffs is ran by the state or the county per se, and they got to get that budget. But locally, the municipalities, they get funded by the city, by the taxpayers. So you got people like, because I know that in OPD, last time I checked, they starting salaries at like $50K.
Yeah, but guess what? You probably got somebody on that that's been on that force for a very long time, still at that $50K, and rookies coming in making close to what they're making.
Right.
and you got some that's they're at making almost almost over 100 grand, kind of like the coward who killed George Floyd. He's making almost over 100K. So these local municipalities, when they say defund, hey, listen, all that money that y'all collecting, y'all ain't doing nothing for us. Let's put it back into the community.
Yes. And I had a thought. Me and my god brother was talking. I had a thought. Well, basically, when you give extra funding to the police, they have to balance that budget, which means hyper police, and they got to go out and write more tickets and make more arrests for things that may not even really be a big deal. Unfortunately, you were 5 miles over. So they pull you over and they have to write you that ticket so they can collect those revenues. And part of the problem when they do that is they're going to go to the community that really can't defend themselves. They're not going to go cross town.
But they're going to go to the ones that can't afford to pay it, and that money builds up and builds up and builds up.
And they also going to go to the ones that can't afford proper representation, so because they know that you're going to take the plea deal, you're just going to play the money. You're not going to fight it because you can't afford to. So that's a part of the systematic racism and, the part of the evils of, as I've been calling it, the injustice system, if you will.
Right.
So that's for if you've ever gotten a ticket for something that was very minute, you got to think about that being one of the benefits of defunding. And really, they need to rebrand the term because it's not taken away from the police. It's just making sure they don't need a tank.
Right.
So instead of giving police money for a tank, let's give money for the police athletic league. So because if the young boys are
didn't have those gyms to go to,
if they're not on the streets committing
or use
crimes
that money to pay for more
tutoring
extensive training within the police department so that we don't keep having these situations. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
Absolutely, and that's just one of them things where when they get you must gotta end of the month, they gotta meet their quota. So they just stopping you for 5 miles over or whatever the case may be. I can't see your tag lights because it's too dim. I can't see. Well, put some damn glasses on.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Tamika, before we get to you, one last question. So the officers that are resigning, we got feedback from Morgan and Cannon. What's your take on that? Why do you think they're doing it? You think they're trying to prove a point, or is it that they're saying, well, I don't like what's going down the pipeline because they really making it seem like they ain't got our back no more?
Well, I think it's a little bit of all of that, actually, because we have to first keep in mind that we have policing, law enforcement is a brotherhood,
right?
okay? We talk about how they stick together, but it's almost like an oath that they take, when they become law enforcement. So in this brotherhood, what you don't want is to see your brother being punished for doing what you feel like is his job. So when that happens, what more can you do than to say, I'm going to punish, them by stepping back. Let's see how you make it without us. I think that is truly a big part of what's going on. I think that they hear what the community is saying when the community is saying that we want them held accountable for what they're doing. And for so long, police officers, law enforcement has been held to a higher standard. So when they go into a court of law,
they should be.
They are
y'all,
believed.
It's like y'all know better.
Yes, it's believed.
They get the benefit of the doubt automatically.
Absolutely, it's because we believed. I don't think that when the laws were created, that they really thought that law enforcement would be under this light that they're under now, this negative light. I don't think that they foresaw that happening. And so when they figured that we would call them into to come and testify. These are people that we're supposed to entrust and believe that they're coming in and they're being honest. But behind the scenes, we know in the community that that's not the case.
Right.
We know that they're doing a lot of things, and we have known this for quite some time.
Right.
I think that it has become now under the microscope because we have the technology to kind of show and prove what
Right.
we've been saying for years.
Yes.
And so I think that too, it goes to what you're saying, that some people don't want to take that risk. They know that they've been doing wrong and they've been riding that wave for a minute, and they
Yep.
know that they're bound to get caught. So why not come on up out of it before you're caught?
Yep.
So I believe it's a little bit of all of that. And then I
You're
think
right.
that the good officers, some of the good officers are scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're coming in. You have some rookies coming in. Right now, there's a negative light on law enforcement as a whole, and some of them just don't want to be viewed in that manner.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, I don't want to have a part in that.
Right.
So I think it's a little bit of everything.
Wow.
Real quick, TJ, I just want to make a point, because you see articles about the good officer who goes out on a call and sees excessive force and goes back to the department and reports it and gets fired. Like, why? That is something I can't wrap my mind around. Like, if I was a lieutenant, I would want you to do that because I would want to solve a problem before it escalates in a person being killed unnecessarily or a lawsuit to the department. Is like, so I think, we've said it many times here on the show, within the police, there needs to be a culture shift. When somebody's looking out for the best interest of the police within the police, they shouldn't be shunned. They should be heard.
Right.
And I agree, but I mean, again, we go back to it being a brotherhood. So the snitching, so to speak, and
Yeah.
we're familiar with that. The snitching then is a bad thing. You're shunned by other officers because now you're going to deal with no one wanting to work with you.
But you putting my safety on the line because you're escalating a situation that don't need to be escalated.
Yeah.
It needs to be looked at. If we're partners and you're a jerk off and you're going from 0 to 100 to everybody. All right, you can't just handle a man any kind of way.
No.
Chances are when you treat people with respect, you'll get it back. You got a few exceptions to the rule.
Right.
All right, but when you're already starting at 100, now you're upset at someone and they retaliate. When if you would have just came respectfully, we wouldn't have had to deal with that. You see what I'm saying? But now I got to come defend you. You know what I'm saying? So now you've made a person, that was respectful, potentially violent.
Right.
And now, you got to handle the situation. You got to use more force than necessary. And I got to witness it. Or you're putting the public in danger. You're putting me as your coworker in danger.
Well, that's why we are calling for citizen oversight committees. That's that is the reason why. That is one of the solutions that I advocate for, because at the end of the day, we have to understand what we're asking law enforcement to do. We're asking law enforcement to, one, tell on their brother, that may be their partner who they're spending 12 hours a day with, out in the community. We're asking them to come forward when you see your partner doing wrong, to step in. Or we're asking them to go and tell a superior about that. And that is a difficult spot to be in for some people. Some people don't feel comfortable doing that. Some people are not willing to put their career on the line.
And it's no different from. It's like they're not doing what they're asking us to do.
Yes.
When someone is killed, they say somebody need to come forward. Somebody need to speak up. You need to, so it's like,
But you're not doing it yourself.
Right.
You're not. You know what I mean? Like that's not the behavior, the example that you're setting. Because so it's like it's there. That understanding is there. So I understand. I get it. I get why they don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Because just like in the streets, if you do it, if you go against the grain and you break the code, there are consequences for it.
And we've seen it. We've seen police chiefs. We've seen good officers show humanity. People are protesting that. Hey, we want police reform. We want accountability. If a Burger King worker is putting poison in people's food, not only would he be fired, he would also go to prison. The only profession that doesn't happen where people do negligent things and don't get fired and don't go to to prison seems to be the police. You know,
Because there's that thin line of justified,
yes.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
what makes something right.
And they go to school.
Oh, there's
and,
the remix to get it justified.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen that firsthand. You know, but what I'm starting to feel, sorry about is like you see examples of, officers showing humanity and kneeling with protesters, and then they get fired for just understanding.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's just the sadder part.
For just understanding.
Because you have some of the like some of the listeners, viewers right now that is watching, says that's why they're police who police the police, aka turn and fairs. So, and sometimes they cover it up because
Oh, yes, they do.
because it goes back to where it comes down to. He says, this is the professor talking. He says, to answer Candace's question, liability to the brotherhood. So it's just yeah, there's no snitching. We got to protect each other, and now it seems like the eyes are not opening, and it's kind of like, you know what, I can't be a part of this. I'm finna start snitching now, and so therefore, hey, you know what? If you got people that's finna start snitching, and the captain ain't got my back no more, I can't do what I'm supposed to do or do what I want to do. Then
Because it's
no
deeper
support.
than just
Yeah.
the regular officers that you have to worry about. Once you think you getting traction, somebody up that line is gonna stop it because we're not doing that.
We're not
doing,
doing
and that's
And
why
in order
we are
to get to
saying
them.
we need to put ourselves in positions to be in those positions. Whether you're black, whether you white ally, somebody that's on the side of right and just needs to be in these higher up positions because it matters. You know what I'm saying? We need that. That's what we need the most.
Well, internal affairs has been there,
Mm-hmm.
and yet we still have the same issue.
Thank
So
you.
I think that
Exactly.
internal affairs is not a adequate response to what we need within our changes to law enforcement. I think that we first have to look more closely at qualified immunity. When we start to look at laws, we have to look at that because qualified immunity ensures that these public servants that are doing their jobs or supposed to be doing their jobs are not held responsible when something goes wrong.
Right.
Exactly.
And we have to kind of go back and revisit these laws that we put in place that actually protects them.
In their wrongdoing. I've seen it firsthand.
Yes, we have to revisit that, and that's those are hard conversations. A lot of people just don't want to have, and especially in law enforcement. And we have to stop thinking that internal affairs is going to be the people to solve it all because they're not. They're not looking at it from an objective lens as they should be, and that's why we call on our citizen oversight committee because you're having people. If my tax-paying dollars are going toward paying your salary, what's wrong with me being able to know what's going on?
I want to have a say so.
I want to have a say so. If in fact you're out there and you have 20 some odd complaints against you in excessive force, and obviously nothing has been done at this point, and now we're dealing with the death of someone. Exactly. Now we're dealing with it being the death of someone, and now the record comes to play. Now we get to see what's going on. No, that should have been out there initially.
Yes.
It should have been out there to the public initially. And then furthermore, they should not be able to be fired from these jobs and then go to another county or another state and get another job in law enforcement and start it all over again.
That's basically what it is. And I'm glad you're saying this because you're speaking on the truth. You're someone that needs to be in office somewhere. And it just so happened that she is running for office. Ooh, I like that segment. Ooh, I like that. So real quick, just
Great segue, TJ.
I know, right? So just tell the fans real quick a little bit about yourself and why you're running for the Florida House District 43.
All right. Well, I'm a mother. I'm a veteran. I'm a educator, a mediator. I am a leader and an advocate in the community, and we had a seat to come open in my district, and I've been in that district for a little over 6 years. And I felt that things were not being addressed. Some of these very issues that we're talking about now have not been addressed, along with many others. And who better to hear it from on the House floor than someone that can speak on it because they're actually doing the work in the community and they know exactly what the community wants.
Right.
It's not someone that's coming to the community just because it's time to vote or coming to the community because they want to know what it is that you want. It's someone that's actually going through it and experiencing that. So I decided to step up and make sure that all voices are represented on the House floor as they need to be.
Wow. Now, for some of those who don't know what a Florida House representative does, going to tell the listeners out there what exactly is that role and what does it, entail or detail?
Well, we do a lot of what we are talking about now. We draft these laws into place that are going to benefit our communities that we represent.
Good.
We also take a look at the legislation that's already in place, and if there's something that's wrong with it or something that needs to be amended, we also amend it. We are interacting, but the biggest thing that I look at when I look at a state rep is I think about the communication aspect of it, being able to communicate with people from all walks of life. That is very, very, very important because if you are a representative and you're in this seat elected to represent many different people, you need to understand from all different walks of life where these people are coming from and what it is that they need. So that's the short of what we do in as a state rep.
Okay. And so with police brutality, seemingly be the common theme, especially towards, blacks, and police reform is definitely needed is what, we've been talking about. What are some like the major steps of police reform, and like what are your thoughts on that? Like what's the first steps for that even to happen?
Well, I have been advocating for committee oversights, the citizen oversight committees within the city and within the county. We need that. There are some places that are implementing it, but it's not being implemented in the way that it really should. The way I see the citizen oversight committee being implemented is that it's truly citizens. Okay. So you have to pay attention when people say we need a citizen oversight committee and there are some places that are implementing it. If you look more closely at who's actually implementing it, they have elected officials. They have police officers. They have other individuals that are easily influenced, I should say, or can be influenced. Right. I should put it that way. But in having a citizen oversight committee in the way I see it, it is truly coming from within the community. People from within, just everyday people within the community that want to see a change and help the community. That's number one. That in itself can change a whole lot. When you have fresh eyes looking at these cases of excessive force, or when you're talking about issues within policing, who better to tell you what's wrong with it than the very people that are dealing with it?
That's feeling exactly, and I agree. It's no different from police unions.
Absolutely.
I don't think if my memory serves me correctly, I don't think the police union who hire them, the people don't get a say so. It's the police that say, hey, I want that guy right there. Hey, you're gonna make sure you're gonna get us an attaboy and all this other stuff. So
Absolutely.
Why can't they don't pay you? They just make sure that I'm gonna protect you even when you're wrong.
Absolutely.
And so I definitely agree with that. So now, do you feel that there's also reform needed in the justice system?
All the way down.
I knew that.
Over it.
Oh man. So what part of it?
Don't just stop it. Don't just stop there. Keep it going.
I'm trying to tell you, we probably don't
now.
have enough time for that. We need complete reform in that. I'll put it like this. African American community in particular has dealt with a problem in the criminal justice system for way before I was born. This goes way back. Okay.
Right.
You ain't been here
And
that long, sister. You know.
well, we just know that it's been an ongoing problem, and it
Absolutely.
has not been addressed adequately. And we always hear people say, it needs reform, but nobody's actually reforming it.
Reform.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
they're not actually doing the work. But when we start to look at our prison systems, and we start to look at the money that certain people are making off of our prison systems, and sending individuals to jail, they're
Right.
actually benefiting from that.
Yeah.
These are things that should not happen in our justice system.
You're right.
Blind justice is not so blind
Nope.
when it comes to these things. And we have to.
She blind. She just ain't colorblind. That's
Well,
what.
that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I found that out while in law school, and really digging inside the laws and things of that nature, and it's just all wrong. It's all wrong. And from us sending people who truly need mental health services
Right.
to prison, from us putting our children and youth inside prisons, for us giving sentencing problems, excessive sentencing.
For the same crime this white boy done did.
Exactly. I mean, I could go on and on when it comes to our criminal justice system. So the quick answer to what you said, absolutely all over the criminal justice system.
Wow. And that's why we need to get in the house, because this is what we need. We need that citizen board.
Absolutely.
Come to us. We gonna tell you if something gonna happen, because look what's happening right now. The public is causing a lot of this stuff now, and it's kind of like, you know what? They right. They absolutely correct. And it's like, hey, so now is a perfect time to get those citizen committee boards. And I don't care how you get them or who you put in those seats, but you need to put them in the seats. Absolutely. And before we go to break real quick, we got a comment from one of our listeners who chimed in on tonight's topic. She says that it's definitely not reform. The morale is low. Police officers in this country should be recruited and evaluated by an independent body, aka complete outside agency, to include a morale, psychological assessments. They need a wider access to mental health services and should be provided mental health leave without shame.
Yep.
There is a reason why domestic violence is so high among law enforcement professionals. The job is extremely stressful, and some use unhealthy behaviors to decompress. So we need to examine law enforcement in other countries with fewer incidents of violence with police officers and see how we can integrate those practices here. And they need to have better pay in certain states where the pay is below the national average.
Yes.
Lastly, good officers need the ability to not fear retaliation for reporting officers who misuse their authority. Those are my 2 cents. Well, that's from my listeners.
I agree.
100%.
Yes.
I agree.
Very
a
well
lot
said.
Of, yes, a lot of excellent points there. If you ask any chief of police, they will tell you that those services, mental health services, are offered.
They
to
are.
them.
They are.
And they will tell you that in order to become an officer, you do have to have a psych exam.
Yep.
They will tell you that all of these things are done. Now, the issue is that once they have become law enforcement for a period of time, how often are they re-performing these tests to ensure that they are able to continue their duties?
And the last thing you want to do is be walking into a therapy, into an office, to sit down and talk because you do have a stressful job, because that indicates something's wrong with you. Are you not capable of doing? Everybody needs a mental break, especially when you have a stressful
Absolutely.
job, and you want to tell somebody that's supposed to be, the savior, that you may need to go sit down and have and talk to someone and be able to unload those, frustrations out. And it's like, well, that means you may not be capable of going out here and doing what we need you to do.
I agree, but it's so many pieces to the puzzle. Okay, but one of the larger pieces to the puzzle is outright discrimination.
Yes.
And we cannot exclude that piece because it is a large piece. I lived in Europe for 2 years. I was stationed there for 2 years. And in Germany, their crime rate is practically non-existent. I could literally sleep at night with my door wide open if I wanted to, and no one would come in my home. Okay, when I first got stationed there had been there was a military person that had been killed, and it was a big deal because they don't have things like that to happen there. Not only because it was military, it was just that people don't do that there. When I walk around there, I'm not looked at in a different light. You know, yes, I'm my skin is darker, I dress different, all of these things, but they don't look at you the same way. And I think here in our country, we have ignored discrimination for so long. We've swept it under the rug and tried to close our eyes and act like it did not exist. And now it is blatantly in your face and you have to address it. And a lot of people don't want to address it. But that is a hard conversation that we have to have right now. And it is impacting every part of our life, from education to housing to our economy, to how we make a living, to how our children are treated. Everything,
the list goes on.
It goes on. So now we have to address that, and I think once we address that as a whole, then we will be able to unravel some of these other things that we have a problem with when it comes to law enforcement.
Exactly. We got video coming up later in the show, but real quick, we're going to go to a quick break. We're going to be back more with Tamika Lyles, and we're going to dive right back into it. So check out this new parody by my main man, Carlos Los 2K6. He just came out with a parody, and told him I would debut it on the show tonight. So make sure you get your glass of wine, your cognac, whatever's going to make you feel right, and come on back. Keep it locked. The best is yet to come. Let's go.
What's up, MTV Cribs, man? It's your boy Tyler, aka Philosopher T, aka Mr. I Have a Dream. Hey, man, before you step in here, man, go ahead and put this mask on, all right? I don't know where you been. Come on. I don't do interviews. Now, the first thing I'm gonna show you is the kitchen, man. You know, you always gotta have a nice kitchen.
I tried to be humble, tried to settle down, but the system was showing no gratitude.
But the first time I'm gonna show you, because we just got done, we got a family function going on. So we got some chicken right here. Mom will go ahead and season it with her chicken, all that stuff, man. So it's all good over here. We got that drip, you know what I'm saying? We gotta put that on the chicken for that drip. This is that sauce, that spapa, you know what I'm saying? Rose. Man, let me show you my fridge. You feels? You know what I'm saying? Stainless steel, standard. Everybody has it. We got a couple strawberries in here. Gotta have that. And we need to go get some more grapes. Would you like me to go to the store? So I ain't gonna show y'all no more. Anyways, let me show y'all my entertainment system over here. The living room. So you know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of TV over here. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too special. It's PlayStation 4. You can add me anytime. Tyler D.A. Smith. Wood. Nice wood goodness. You know what I'm saying? It's really cold. You know what I'm saying? You can't get that nowhere else, man. Lumberjacking it. You know what I'm saying? We got the alpaca. You can't get that. You block that. You feel? You don't rub in there. You block that. You block that. Like I said, y'all came just in time. Family affair going on. What's going on, family? What's going on? Y'all still crib affair. What's going on? Anyways, like I told y'all, man, we out here hanging out and stuff. Theater section where everybody go cool down and chill, man. The first thing you're gonna see is Orlando. As soon as you step in upstairs, man, scenery where all the stencils at, man. You got the dome, you got the city life, Disney World, not Disneyland, Disney World. Anybody just want to play the game, whatever. But like I said, man, by any means necessary, we got a little Malcolm X going on, man. Y'all know what's going on, so protect yourselves. Got this pool table going on. Anybody can try me. Let me show you to get this shot, man. Ooh. You like me now, you know what I'm saying? That's how I get down, man. Anytime. So don't doubt my skills, the max skills, man. But like I said, let me show you what the magic go down. Got a nice little finish, turquoise finish. It's one of my favorite colors. Yeah, PlayStation's everywhere. Sony's the best. I'm not an Xbox gamer, so sorry, Microsoft. Anyways, we got the bathroom. Nothing really too special. Just white walls, closet with my shoes stacked up high, whatever. Nothing to see. You already know. What up, Ryan? What's good, baby?
What's good, bro? What's
I'm
good?
saying, cuz in the house, you know what I'm saying? Show y'all where the garage is, man. Alright, bam! Just like that. 2 Hyundais, man. You know how we do it. Hey, Hyundai, I'm telling y'all, need to sponsor me, man. All these doggone Hyundais I got in my garage, man. So we got Grady here, we got Whitey here, we got another Big Mama Whitey back there. So, you know, that's when we take the kids, go do anything, go get their McDonald's, get their snacks, all that stuff. But anyway, so we got the SUV. You know what I'm saying? This is where we go ahead and go do our tours, our bookings, and all the other stuff. Take care of business. That's why we got it all blacked out. You know what I'm saying? So black is the way to go. Anyways, I'm tired of looking at y'all. Y'all need to remember Black Lives Matter. And yeah, get out my face, man.
Welcome back. Man, listen, this show's been great, man.
Yes, it has.
It's coming, like, this thing going by super fast. But we got a lot of knowledge out there.
Yes.
And I feel that it was very impactful. And right on break, we were just coming back from, talking about how racism is blindly and, we got so desensitized to racism. Now, real quick, I just want to show you guys a video because with this movement that's happening, you're starting to see a lot of murals throughout the different cities that says Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
and,
the Band-Aid.
They call it the Band-Aid effect, and some people are, making it look like and painting over it and saying you're not going to put this crap in here. Something happened in California, like it's been happening all around these different cities, and let's go and take a look at the video.
No, I'm fucking serious.
What are you doing?
What is wrong with you?
We're sick of this narrative. That's what's wrong.
Coming up there.
Yeah, it's the narrative of police brutality, the narrative of oppression, the narrative of racism. It's a lie.
America's great.
It's a lie.
This is racist. What you're doing.
This is racism is what it is. That's what it is. There is no oppression. There is no racism. It's a leftist lie. It's a lie from the media, the liberal left.
You can't be that narrative.
No, but you can be.
You are the idiot in the scenario. He's in shit in fucking New York. This is not happening in my town. She's old.
White people, exactly.
Go get my other can of paint. Right now, Quinn.
Oh, it's on. Realize it, baby.
in my face?
Yeah.
Fucking keep America great again, that's right. Why don't you guys learn about history? The Emancipation Proclamation Act.
History,
Yeah, that's right. Abraham Lincoln. You're only free because of our forefathers.
fucking colonizer. You're not fucking from America. You're a fucking colonizer. Your ancestors are from here.
Now you
So
gonna
don't
You know what?
gold right now. I can see it. Now you that thing black.
You don't know nothing.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. So there's a group of people, two people in the courthouse.
Nobody asked you!
Yeah, pull up.
Hold up!
Pull up. You want some?
Becky, you got something to say? Becky, what's up? I'm right here. Shut up, Karen!
Get the fuck out.
Karen, you're the one that's here. I'm melanated, bro. I'm fucking melanated. I'm fucking from this land, bitch. What's good? Native. Native.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
Fucking Becky.
You know what? All lives matter, dude. I ain't fucking down for this bullshit in our town.
lives matter, no lives
Yeah, all lives matter.
That's all the kids that are locked up in
All lives matter, that's right.
Shut the fuck up with that fucking opinions. You're fucking wrong, lady. What's good then? You got something to say? What's good then? I will beat your ass. This is not good. No,
You are not good.
You know what's not good? Kids in fucking cages right now. That's not good. That's not happening, okay?
Yes, it is, bitch.
Bitch, I will smack the fuck out of you.
You know what?
The
The only reason why you're crying, why people cry police brutality, people are resisting arrest. Don't have a run-in with the law and don't resist arrest. It won't be a problem.
That's not what's happening. They literally kneeled on that poor black man's fucking
Yeah, no, nobody agrees with that. I don't agree with that either. That was wrong.
Okay, so then,
That was
why
wrong.
are you painting over black lives?
You was only bonded because of your forefathers too. Like, just,
And if you heard in the video, she said, you know, you're not from this country either. You came over and colonized, you colonizer. And that's basically what happened. And so it just goes to show that things like this, it's they don't see the problem. They don't see the issue. They don't recognize what's happening because it's not happening to them.
Well, TJ, one thing I've conceded to is ignorance is bliss.
And you can't argue with that.
Ignorance is bliss. You know, take the issue with the Confederate flag, for example. All right. You got people that will look you in your eyes and say, oh, it wasn't about slavery. It was about state rights. It's about my heritage. It's not about hate. Well, if you just go back and read up on the people in the Confederacy and the states that seceded from the Union and read their secession papers, it included slavery. And not only that, Morgan, some of them went as far to write statements like the Negro is not equal to the white man.
Yes.
It was all about
And they don't want
racism.
They don't want to read that part.
You know what I'm saying? In fact, there's a speech called the Cornerstone Speech where the vice president of the Confederacy explicitly states that the white man, is superior to the Negro, and that the Negro's condition is slavery forever. That was the intent. And you walk around waving that flag, but when people explain it to you and they show you the facts, you still don't want to believe it.
It's I say this a lot when I speak. I sometimes people get a little offended until they hear me out, but I say that people are naturally selfish. Just naturally, you're just selfish.
Right.
And what I mean by that is when you look at everything that's going on, unless you can point out where it has directly affected you, you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care about it. So when we look at individuals like this, that are doing things like this, it has not impacted them in any way.
Right.
Yes.
So they don't see what's the big deal.
They don't see it.
I don't
And
see
so,
nothing wrong with it.
my best way to touch people like that is, because they swear that they're not racist.
Right.
So my best way to touch people like that is that, as a teacher, I would tell them, I say, when students are in class together, they're interacting with each other. We put them in groups and they're interacting with each other. Different ethnicities and races, they're interacting with each other. Now they build friendships and so forth. Imagine that they're building these friendships, and now since you don't want to look at law enforcement and a difference in how law enforcement acts within our neighborhoods, then let's just imagine that your child has developed this friendship with this minority, this black child, male, if you will, and they're riding down the street in the car, and he's driving, the black male is driving, and a police officer shoots inside this car, and he kills both of those kids in this car. It has directly impacted you, and then you would be angry and you would say, no, they shouldn't be doing that.
But it's
Why
too
did they
late.
shoot in the car? Right. But it directly impacts them at that point, because you cannot control where your children, who your children become friends with. You don't know what they're doing when they're out of your circle.
Yeah.
So if you don't care anything about what happens to African Americans, then imagine that your children just may be friends with an African American. They just may be in that car when that car gets pulled over. They just may be in that car that gets shot up, that they didn't take the time to look into that car. They just may be friends with them. So then maybe
I have a dream speech coming on.
you can feel it.
They may be
I
walking
like
down
it.
the street with some
Maybe.
African Americans and randomly get stopped and get thrown to the ground
Or
so they can be
maybe-
stopped and frisked.
I got a better one for you. Maybe
keep
they're
preaching, keep preaching.
Maybe
Keep
they're
going.
playing with their toy gun with Tamir Rice,
Right.
and they roll up and they kill both of them. We look at these things, and they, like I said, until they touch you individually, you don't feel it.
But you know what? That's because they know no police officer is going to roll up and see a black kid and a white kid with a gun and shoot both of them. They know that their white kid is going to have the benefit of the doubt, and they're not going to be, you know what I mean? Because if you think about sometimes in movies when they show a black and white person in the car, the white person is always like, "Yo, man, what's the deal?" Because they know.
Sir,
They know they can get riled up.
Sir, get
they
back.
know they can get out of the car.
Sir, get
they
back.
know they can say the things they say because they know. That's why I say when they're out there marching with us, yes, because they don't have, there's not a doubt in their mind that they're not going to leave that march. Because they know. They still know they have that privilege. Even if they're on our side, they still have the privilege because of the color of their skin.
But didn't I love to see when they were looting and burning things down, and how many of those individuals were actually white?
Oh,
Yeah.
That were burning things down,
Yeah.
and a few of them were arrested, and they plastered their pictures up there, and you could see that it wasn't just African Americans that were doing this. I appreciate anyone that can walk with us and advocate for what's right.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless of what ethnicity it is, I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is them singling out African Americans and putting African Americans in one big bucket together and just saying that we're all bad. So we're gonna let all of the people who are Caucasian go. You all go because you're not a part of them.
And that's why they're able to start. That's why they're able. They don't care if they're busting out those, because they know that privilege is there, and they're not going to be the poster child for looting.
Wow.
So Tamika, I know we got a few minutes left.
Four.
Before. That's why I said
Four. Minutes
That's
left.
why I say a few minutes. So real quick, go ahead and tell the people real quick about how they can find you on social media, where they can go to donate to your campaign, because it takes money to run a campaign.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and talking to Kim right there and let them know
Absolutely.
how they can find you in the website.
Okay, so you all can look me up on my website, where you can find out more information about me. My complete bio is there, what I'm doing in the community prior to my candidacy, what I'm doing in the community now, and what I will be doing once elected. My website is www.lyles4hd43.com. There you can volunteer. You can also contribute to the campaign financially if you're not inside my district. So you don't have to feel that you cannot help if you're not inside my district. Mind you, going to Tallahassee, I have to interact with all other representatives that are throughout this state. So you want to make sure that you have good people that are interacting and ensuring that your voice is heard throughout the state of Florida. Also, you can look me up on Facebook under my name, Tamika Lyles, Instagram under my name, and also you can look me up on Twitter at Lyles for Senate. Lyles for Senate.
Ooh, I like
Speak
that.
it.
I like that word, Senate. That Senate
Senator
just
Lyles.
speaks it.
That's got
Wow.
a great ring to it. Senator
Wow,
Lyles.
and we thank you definitely for for coming on. Like I said, all the way up until in November when it's time to go out and get those votes. You got
August
primary
for me.
Oh, August for you.
My campaign is over in August. August 18th for me is it. So that's the deciding factor of
Okay.
whether or not I'll be in Tallahassee representing you all.
And August 18th.
August
So
18th.
get out and vote.
Yes.
I think what the deadline's coming up now for voting, right?
Oh, absolutely. If you all are trying to get mail-in ballots, you all should be getting those right now. If you're still looking to get one, I believe you have until the end of the week to try to get you a mail-in ballot if you don't feel comfortable going to the polls.
Wow.
Amen.
Okay. And we definitely thank you for coming on the show. Whatever my platform can do to help get the word out, get the votes out, definitely let me know, and we do what we can on the show. And we're gonna make it do what it do. And just a quick 2 church announcements that we got. Thursday night vibe, hosted by my man Type Mike. It's gonna be comedy and R&B. So at the Dream City. So get out, showtime. It's 9:00. Doors open up at 8. And just get out there. I think tickets are still available. I have it on my page as well. And Cannon, I think Cannon got something coming up on July the 18th.
Oh, yes, absolutely. On July 18th, and Senator, you're welcome to come out, hang out,
after my
and address
birthday.
the people. Well, it's actually my birthday, so you definitely got to come out, hang with me, So we are doing the fundraiser for my stand-up special at Angel's Soul Food right there in Sanford on Sanford Avenue, where you can pay just $25 for a donation and come see a comedy show and get a plate to eat at the same time. So
Just like that, and it's black owned. So, all right. Listen, man, it's been fun. It's been
Yes,
great.
this was a good show.
Man, listen, these
Good show.
very great
Good
show,
stuff.
very informational. I love it. Make sure you guys tune in next week, man, because I got my main man Type Mike and my main Essex O'Brien from the hit show Acting Funny.
So,
They're-
so y'all just gonna be hilarious.
We're gonna be
over here.
hilarious, and we're gonna drop some knowledge on you. So
Okay.
make sure y'all definitely tune in next
We
week.
gonna get my outfit together then.
Yeah,
Y'all ain't
you
gonna be
got-
making no jokes about
Hey,
me
we
up
gonna,
in
hey,
here.
that's what you're gonna have comedians and actors in here, so they just might roast you, and you're gonna have another comedian here that's probably been waiting. So anyway, to next week, to next week, family man. I'm your main man, TJ Chatman. This is my beautiful co-host Morgan Williams,
Yep.
Tamika Lyles in the building, and the funny man sitting in the chair, comedian Loose Cannon. Y'all keep it locked. The best is yet to come. Let's go.